This beanie is a super quick project if you dig the knit look but don't know how to knit, or if you want to make a beanie faster by crocheting, this little one is perfect. I personally really love making this kind of beanies. It's super easy to make because we don't need to do any increase or decrease. Also, any weight yarn will work. It doesn't matter if you have a really thin or really chunky yarn. All we need is two measurements: how long your beanie is and the circumference around your head. So first, we're going to make a rectangle. We are going to begin with a slip knot and make a chain that measures about 15 inches. This is the length of the beanie, which is the distance from the top of the beanie to the brim. And this includes the part that folds over. If you're not sure how long you should chain, you can always grab a beanie you already have and use its measurements. So once you've done that, chain 1 as the turning chain. Find the second stitch from the hook. Turn your chain over. In the back loop of that stitch, yarn over and insert hook. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Then pull the first loop through the other two loops. This stitch is a half double crochet slip stitch. So let's do that again. Yarn over and insert hook in the back loop of the next stitch. Yarn over and pull up a loop. Once you've got 3 loops on your hook, pull the first loop through the second and the third. Next stitch, yarn over, insert hook and pull up a loop. Pull loop 1 through 2 and 3. So it's very similar to a half double crochet, except the last bit, which is like a slip stitch. I've done 5 stitches so far. If you're a beginner, you might want to use a stitch marker to mark the first stitch. It'll help you find the stitch more easily when we come back. So you're going to continue making this half double crochet slip stitch in the back loop of each stitch across. When you finish the last stitch, chain 1 and turn. In the first stitch, back loop, yarn over and insert hook. Make a half double crochet slip stitch. So it's the same stitch we've been doing. Go ahead and work like this to the end of the row. That's the last stitch, which would be marked if I used a stitch marker here. Finish the last stitch and chain 1 again. Do this at the beginning of every row. Row 3 is exactly the same as row 2. Starting from the first stitch, work 1 half double crochet slip stitch in each stitch across the row. And we're simply going to keep repeating this row until the rows, which is the length of the rectangle, equals our head circumference. Then chain 1 and fasten off. Flip this panel so the yarn is coming from the right hand corner. Next, we're going to turn this rectangle into a tube by joining the last row to the first. I'm going to pull the loop on the hook through the corresponding stitch on the other side. Then chain 1. Insert hook in the first stitch, both loops. Then in the first stitch on the other side, but only in the back loop. Yarn over and pull through all 4 loops on the hook. That's a slip stitch. So next stitch, both loops, then back loop, yarn over, and pull through all 4. Do the same for the next 8 stitches. Make sure they line up. Don't miss any stitch. So these 10 stitches is how wide my brim is gonna be. We're having the right side of the beanie facing us at the moment. This looks weird now, but when you fold this over, it'll look nice. Once you've finished the first 10 stitches, turn your work inside out. Put this loop back on the hook. From the next stitch, do the same. Insert hook in both loops. Then insert in the back loop only on the other side. Pull yarn through and make a slip stitch. Continue working like this across the row. Finish the last stitch, chain 1 and pull yarn through. Leave a long tail to close off the top. Use a yarn needle and thread through the loops along the top edge. When you come back around, pull tight. And then for the next part, I like to turn it to the right side when I'm sewing. This way I can make sure the right side looks nice. But I'm pretty sure some people do it on the wrong side and they're able to make it really neat, but I can't, so I have to do it this way. It's less risky for me anyway. Then bring your thread to the wrong side and fasten off. Sew in the ends, then you've got yourself a beanie. I hope you guys like this video. Thanks for watching. Bye!